Finally doing this with you all, and today I'll be showing you how to go about this beautiful dress. It's a panel dress with these Aso-oke details and this very cute sleeve. So if you're interested in learning how to go about this dress, definitely watch to the end. So these are the fabrics I'll be using, which are just the main fabric. You need your Ankara fabric, and you need about 3 to 4 yards for this. And then you'll also be needing your Aso-oke, just something that would be enough for this. We'll go ahead and start with the pattern drafting, and I've mapped out a space for front and back. And for this front part, I have the shoulder line, I have the bust point line, I have the under bust line, I have the waist line, I have the hip line, and I also have the gown length. Then for the back, I have the shoulder line, I have the waist line, I have the hip line, and I have the gown length. Now if you notice, it's about 1.5 shorter with the length that I use for the front because of my bust dart. Here on the shoulder line, I'm going to mark the shoulder measurement divided by 2. Then I'll go down to my chest line, and on the chest line again, I'll mark the shoulder measurement divided by 2, and then come down here to my chest line again. So I'll basically go ahead and mark the same thing for the back. That's the shoulder measurement and the chest line, and then mark them out this way. Once that is done, I'm going to mark my standard neck width here on the shoulder line, then come down here to my shoulder slope and connect it to the neck width like you see me do it here. Once that is done, I'm going to get the midpoint of this line left, and I'm trying to do it this way just to have it accurate. And then on that point, I'll be going in to 1/2 inch. I'll come to the chest line and take my bust measurement divided by 4, and then I'm going to use all these points to get the armhole curve. I'll curve from the shoulder tip to the 1/2 inch, then from that 1/2 inch to the bust width, just like this. Now I'm going to mark my bust span on the bust point line. That's the nipple to nipple divided by 2. You're going to mark it all the way from the bust point all the way to the gown length, and I'm going to connect mine like this in a straight line, and it's looking like this. Then for the dart intake, I'll be doing 0.75 on both sides of this bust span line. That's 1.5 in total, and then I'm going to give it this dart shape upwards and downwards like you see me do it here. I already have my bust measurement. I'm going to come to the waistline and take my waist measurement divided by 4 plus the 1.5 that intake I have on the waistline. And then on the hip line, the hip measurement divided by 4. There's no that intake there. And then whatever it is I have on the hip line, I'm going to take it all the way to the gown length. I'm just trying to make sure I have the same measurement. And once I'm sure of that, I'm going to connect the measurement out just as you can see me do it here. And in case you're wondering about the side seam, don't worry about it. In case you're wondering why not just connect it like this, you can also do that, but I'll be showing you one of the nicest ways to calculate the fullness for your panels. Yeah, but for now I'm going to measure my under bust circumference divided by 4. I'll mark it and then measure what I have left to the side seam line, and I'm going to share it on both sides of this already existing dart legs on this under bust part. And I have about 1/2 inch, about 1 inch to share, which is just 1/2 inch on both sides. I'm going to use my curve to curve it to the bust point on both sides, then extend that under bust dart to the waist dart. Just connect them together like this. Then I'm going to come down here to 1.5, which is my bust dart value. That's the difference between my front length and the back length. Now I'm going to start from this bust point line and go up to my over bust line, and whatever it is you have here as your over bust line is your neck depth. That means you can decide to measure from the shoulder line to come down to your desired neck depth if your actual over bust line will not do it for you. But for me, whatever it is I have from my bust point upward as my over bust line will serve as my neck depth, and I'm comfortable with it. I'll get the midpoint of this shoulder slope and then connect it to the bust point this way, or the bust span. Then on both sides of the line, I'm going to be marking 0.75 to contour the over bust. That's like to tighten the over bust. Yeah, then I'm going to just use my ruler to connect them out like this. I'm going to throw the dart legs. I'm measuring this center one, and I'm going to make sure that whatever it is I have there is the same thing with what I have here on the side. And you see that I needed to shorten it. Then I'm going to place my curve like this and blend it into the bust width. And you see what I did there with the armhole curve. Can you see? Now, like I said, make sure that whatever it is you have is your desired over bust or neck depth. Then you're going to measure this line all the way to this curve we have here. Have it in mind. I have about 5 inches and I'm going to just keep it safe. So here will be the center back. Then I'm going to mark the neck depth or the neck width on the shoulder and mark my shoulder slope and connect it to the neck width. So the neck depth is going to come from the chest line. Yeah. But for now, I'm going to contour the center back and I'm using about 0.75. I'll mark it from the center back inwards this way on the waistline. Then use my straight ruler to connect it upwards all the way to the shoulder line and downwards as it gets. I will now start from this line and take the bust measurement divided by 4. Then on the waistline, I'll take the waist measurement divided by 4 plus 1 inch extra. That will be for that will be coming later. Then on the hip line, the hip measurement divided by 4. And then whatever it is I have on the hip line, I'm going to mark the same thing on the gown length. And you see that I'm taking all this measurement from this center back contour line. Yeah, you also need to do that. Now I'm going to be marking out my dart and I'm going to start from the actual center back line. That's the initial center back line, yeah, original center back line. I'll mark my bust span on the waistline and also mark it on the hip line, then go up 6 inches from the waistline and mark the same bust span. Then I'm going to connect it with a straight ruler this way and take it all the way to the gown length, like you see me do it here. I added 1 inch here to my waist measurement. I'm going to use that as the dart intake. That's ½ inch on both sides. And I'm going to connect it upward and downwards, just like this. I mentioned that the chest line will be the neck depth for the back. So I'm going to measure my chest line and mark it here also on the center back. You can also decide to add ½ inch to what you have as your chest line and mark that as your neck depth on the center back so that it's going to look slanty, but I'm maintaining the same thing like my chest line as my neck depth. Then I'll label them center back, side front, and center front. Now I'm going to add my zipper allowance following the center back contour line like you see me do it here, so that after connecting it's going to look like the contoured center back line, and it is looking like this. Now we are going to be cutting this out because we are pretty much done with the pattern. I'll first separate the two patterns like this and then we cut out the back first. So you're going to watch where and how I'm cutting this out. It's important that you cut out that length so that you don't get yourself confused. You're also going to measure from your shoulder slope to your neck depth for the back on that side. Mine is about 7 inches. The same thing we measured for the front here. The front was 5 inches, the back is 7 inches. That's a total of 12 inches as my strap length. Do you understand that? Then I'm going to cut the front. I'll first open up this waist dart, open it up all the way to the bust point this way. Then I'll slash the bust dart like this and then place the slashed one on the bust point line and blend in the side seam, then go ahead and cut the rest of the pattern. So after cutting this out, I'm going to match up the side seam of the front and the side seam of the back if they are matching up, because of course you'll be joining them together, like closing your dress from that side. So it's important that you check if you have any excess or any shortage. Then I went ahead to place this on my fabric and mark them out this way. Now let's talk about the fullness. So I wanted the whole fullness to be 120 inches at the end of the day. That's like the whole circle, 120, because of the length I worked with. If it was lower than that one, I would have made it 150 or even 180. The longer your dress is, the more you increase the fullness. So since you're working with 8 panels, you're going to do 120 divided by 8, or your desired fullness divided by 8. And mine is giving me 15 inches. That means that each panel is going to come with 15 inches. And you're going to first measure what you have on the paper, then minus it from that 15 inches, yeah, so that you know what you'll be adding to the already existing width of the paper. Do you understand? So for me, I just calculated it and this is what I have to add to the sides. So this is for the center back. Then for the side back, I repeated the same thing, measured the paper, then calculated what I have to add left to make it up to 15, and then I also added 1 inch. That's like we have 16 inches here as the wideness, because we'll be needing ½ inch to join on one side and ½ inch on the other side. And you see how I placed my patterns, because I'm not working with a fabric that comes with a particular design or grain design that I have to follow that same design. So yeah, I just place it like this, and you see how I folded my fabric in a way that this part now is folded and it will save your fabric. So with that being said, we are going to start cutting, and don't forget to add your side seam allowance. I added about 1.5 side seam allowance. Then every other part that I need to join, I added half inch. And then after cutting, please make sure to notch where you need to notch. For the center front and the side front, I'll be notching the under bust and the waistline. Then for every other pattern, I'll be notching just the waistline so that I match them up when I want to join, and it will be easier for me to work with it that way. Like I say, don't forget to add your side seam allowance, or if half inch will do it for you, please by all means just add your half inch all around your pattern. But yeah, that's just how you go about it. And after cutting it out, we are going to be cutting out the lining. And I'm not doing full lining. Yeah. The one we are copying doesn't come with a full lining. I won't even advise that you do a full lining. But with the way I want my lining, like where I want my lining to get, I'm going to start from this waistline and go down to about 20 inches. That's where I want it to stop. Or if you want it lower, but just don't turn it with your lining. Don't turn your panels with your lining so that it comes out flowy. Do you understand? So once I have the where I want my lining to get, I'm going to fold my fabric this way. Please fold it in a way that it's not getting to where you will be cutting, because any mistake you'll be seeing holes in your fabric after cutting. So just fold it nicely, then pin it, keep it away from where you will be cutting later. Then I'm going to just place it like this on my lining and cut it out. I'll repeat the same thing with every other pattern or panels, and at the end of the day, this is what I have. I'm gonna have to cut out the lining for all of them, and I use this green cotton lining. I even cut out interface, which is not necessary since my fabric is thick and my lining is also thick. I can decide to do away with this interface, but I just needed to, because I felt like doing that. So before I gum it, I'll have to join it following this same added sewing allowance here from top all the way down. Press open the seam line just to make it very flat. Then I'll go ahead and interface. I'll repeat the same thing here. Join first on the center front. Yeah. Press open the seam lines before I now go ahead and interface with my feasible interface. So yeah, that's it. I have gone ahead to cut out the lining for all of them, and I have even interfaced all these ones. I only needed to explain how to go about the front. I won't advise that you interface it separately before joining the center front. Rather, go ahead and join the center front first before you interface. So the next thing we'll be doing now is to just go ahead and start joining all of these pieces. Like I explained, just go ahead and cut out your lining the way I explained, so that yeah, you have them uniform at the end of the day. Now to start sewing all of these pieces, okay, let's do that in the coming video. I hope to see you in my next one.